Everyone. Make sure it's okay. Yes. What's coming so with the
So I'm good then.
all right, so you tell me what to do if you need to what
No, once you log in, because everything up and running in this. So once you log in, everything should be good. Make sure we set it. I just there's a select already.
All right, just so you guys know that you're live all over. We have guests on, and we're also already streaming on YouTube. So the whole thing is live right now.
Yeah, I want to welcome everybody from the YouTube community. Still waiting on the audiences to come out. I think, hey Mike, how you doing? Mike is here.
Oh, okay. This is another mic.
How you doing? Huh?
So
silent but deadly.
I don't know.
Hi, I don't know if you can hear me, but where is the YouTube link? What is the link? Is it Jabem account? Where can I find you on YouTube?
Jabem.
Okay, I'm looking for it. Okay, cool. Thank you.
no, I don't think there's anything really right now. Me just turn on the volume because 2 minutes me just turn on. Come here 1 minute. Let me just show you.
I don't.
Come take it down.
Let me get my phone. Can I have a phone at my son?
Listen, I invite members of both parties.
Yes, I did
I don't know
also.
who's gonna show up with the shorts.
I did also invite the parents, yeah.
I invited Marcia to do it next to me. I invited the people.
Right. Where's the for dinner cap up there today? I'm not bringing the people. Even if, all right, my nephew was a 50, right? And he worked with, what if we have to and I'm going to bring the bar. And it was a few by the water, and then they got the water for the factory. We all can make that in the almost in one day. To be nice for another. Okay. I listen. Oh, next year, my what him did, put them in a plastic bag and put them in the train. I said, when I tell them, I'm going to that. Then back there, I want one person like me and a plan right around. So the guy to go back down.
All right, real focus.
Hmm?
Andrew. Andrew? Yeah, I think you. But
So when you don't know, I would know
hey, you got my number now. Yes. Got me on there. Yeah. No, the phone. Basically, police, not to success. This could come like the boss on there.
Yes, sir.
We come like this on the side there, sir.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
You could?
Yeah. Come.
Mute it a while. I go choose them. So them attack. If camera off yan, cause the display now go show. So them on already. It's just to see that.
Marshy,
Yes.
can you
Yes.
turn on the camera?
Can play music, we play music.
They might not play music too, but through the van I'm gonna minimize it
Are you wanna play?
through laptop.
So how you do that?
I'm gonna play it on YouTube.
Yeah man, we soon start, man. We soon start. We just mic check. Right. We want to invite everyone to come because we want to start early. Those who are nearby, please come closer.
What's this over again, General? Want to bring time so. So someone give me. It should be good this one.
If you are close by, please come forward.
You have enough length. Don't follow Jack. Now walk on. Really.
This is a very important meeting, so we need everybody to come out and hear what is happening. Yeah, but him not really cause around force money upon him. Not tell him to replace some music.
So what we'll do, we in the interest of people managing their time, we should start at 3:30, regardless of what the audience look like. So we'll go that time there. So we can do no juggling and keep the mobilization going,
Yeah.
Turn off mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll be starting around 3:30. So asking anybody close by, please join. We have some very important information that the public need to be aware of.
It got feedback about all
Check. Checking.
Draw down the van right now. So them are going to play with the panic chat. Uji, no, that not gonna work. Alright, so there's something behind it. When I play this.
No, when them talk, so that we need to hear when them talk. So when them talk, I want to hear.
You're not hear him?
Yeah.
Alright.
Huh? Well, we know what we can do, what we can do. We ready?
You're gonna stop this?
Huh?
Yeah. You're gonna stop. This is the YouTube number. The Zoom, you have to blow the Zoom. You have to close this Zoom. Ready for talk now. Left it. Log off. Come off. Log.
Think we're up on that 3:30 hour. And we need to be mindful. Jones,
Yes, Stefan, hearing you.
how we doing?
Yeah, man, you're sounding loud and clear. People take time a trickle in.
Warm to the camera, Bridget. Warm to the camera that is, can turn on that camera and point it on the ball ground or something. So
Okay, the camera on the.
Rachel, how are you?
I am good, Devon. Thank you so much for setting this up so I can be there without being there.
Yeah, man.
How are you?
Not too bad, you know.
Good.
Fighting the good fight, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so while we all operate on Jamaican time, maybe we can start the party online here, you know. Danny, how you doing?
Hey, Devon, I'm here. I get in there.
It's good, that's good. I'm just doing you know, a check here. Hey Brian, you all right?
Yeah, man, King. Yeah, man, King. Me there, you know.
Isis. Teresa, you good?
Everyone, I'm good. Thanks for having this organized.
Yeah, man. How you doing, Emma?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, Devon. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it very much.
Yes, we all have to try and push back at the madness, you know. Jones, just let me know when you're ready to start, you know.
Evan, Evan.
Yes, yes.
Yes, these are some problem with the internet. Can I do it through my phone just in case it come in and to go back down again?
Yeah, what's the thing is not stable?
Yeah, it's not stable. I think you can hook it up onto the community Wi-Fi.
Uh-huh.
That's what the problem is.
That's the problem.
Yes. Let's try to connect.
Okay, so you're ready to go now. It's a 3:45
Yeah,
anyway.
people are coming in with drum. They are going to know. But then just what the whole speak. I mean, in-house speakers. Mike going to his one on Zoom. And so it's Dr. Lowe there, me and Dr. Lowe there. So what I might do is just integrate the community, some of the people in the community. So express themselves or the experience them have over Iron River.
But Jones, so the Zoom camera is on the computer. Why are we not seeing anything?
I'm gonna try and get the power. Let me try it. That's me just walk up from the house. But I'm not going to lock you off on this yet, all right?
Okay.
That's all this is. Me? Look here. Let me assist you.
We're done already, man.
Jones. Hold that sounds like a bad connection. Not sure what's going on the ground at all.
Devon, see if you can try and let us in. Yeah?
What was that, Jones?
Try see if you can let us in. Because we are trying to come through with the what? With the hotspot.
Yeah.
So we are back.
Jones, you're back up.
So let me just log out of this.
Andrew, this
Devon, you're alive now, here? Devon.
Yeah, Jones, we're good?
Yeah, man, you're live now.
Okay.
Address the people and get it started, all right? All right? My gratitude for everyone for coming out. It's very important that we talk about this. This is something that will impact us now and in the future. So the community have to make a decision on how we go forward with this project. So today we are here just to highlight and enlighten the crowd or the public about what is happening and what China Harbor proposed to do, and what we can do to prevent us being impacted. So we have quite a lot of people on Zoom. They will be talking. I will be talking now and then, but we expect more people to come out so that everybody can participate in what we are doing. We will open the mic for the public. If they want to say something, you know, they can come and say something. Roan River is something that is dear to us people of Steertown. This is where we start our livelihood. When the community, when there was no gas stove, we used to go by Roan River to get wood to cook, right? When we want fruits, that's where we used to go, right? So Roan River is very dear to us. The rivers, we could go there as children as well. So, you know, it's something that live with us. It's a sacred place because, you know, I have been learning that the Tainos were there. Marcus Garvey parents were there, right? So it's very dear to us. It has a lot of heritage, right? It's a part of our culture. And China Harbor is proposed to build 800 houses on the Roan River property, just across from the toll road. And we have people here who are expert, will tell you exactly what is happening. I am no expert, but you know, I know what they are doing will impact us. They are planning to build on the watershed, and that is very serious and risky. There has been some assessment that was done by the ESL, Environment Solution Limited. They actually came to the community and they did a survey. of, I think they said 206 people. I think it's around 11,000 people living in Steertown. What they do a survey of 206 people, which is 6%. Mohammed Bay included, Steertown, and Greenwich Acres. And, you know, in my mind, that's a small sample. So they said that most of the people are in favor of the project. But when they were doing their survey, I understand that they didn't explain to the people what was happening, right? The impact that might have on us. So we are here today to let the people know exactly what the impact is all about. So as I said before, we have Dr. Devon Taylor online. I will just open it to him so that he can speak to you. Dr. Taylor?
Greetings, greetings, Jones. Greetings, Steertown. You know, you can't refer to me as Dr. Taylor in a Steertown. You have to reach back for Sammy. You know what I mean? All of the ones them where we used to trod Roaring River with as little youths. We could close our eyes and run through all of those tracks, you know? So right now, Roaring River Watershed is asking us to save the watershed, save it, you know what I mean? Because it have the right to exist. And it has been very good to us. Many of us boys and girls, you know, gain our confidence, you know, treading those streams, you know. Many of our, you know, foreparents, many of our neighbors, friends were baptized within several of the pools that were in, that are in, you know, the Roaring River space. You know, it's a space, as Joan says, sacred because, you know, we collect many things that was necessary for our life and our livelihoods, you know, that feed our family, nourish our body. And, you know, I mean, when water gone and we have no water in Steertown, these are the streams that we collect from. These are the streams that we have told many stories and many stories baked within the barks of those trees. You know what I mean? I mean, many of our footsteps, you know, are forever embedded in the soil. I mean, a whole heap of maca joke with our foot in those spaces, you know. We walk on those pipelines. We cherish that land. We never weed it out. We never chop the trees down. We only pick up the dry branches. We protected that space. But the space is calling for a greater protection right now. And so we have to respond. There's no way to respond. So what I'm going to try to do here, you know, is just to explain to Steertown, you know, a little bit of what we understand that's going on, right? So it is around 160 acres that they have carved out. And so I want the community to understand that the North Coast Highway that was built, and they said it was built basically while the government puts no money down. There's a price for it. What was the price? Was that they agreed to give Chinese Harbour Engineering Company 1,200 acres of land. The deal, we don't really understand fully the deal, but that was one of, you know, the giveaway. Without any consultation with the Jamaican people, our government, and this spans both administrations. So I want to understand it is not a partisan issue. It is an issue that has negotiated across two different administrations, PNP, GLP. And the people are the ones who are feeling it right now, and the environment is feeling it. So that 1,200 acres of land that was promised, the company decided that they want this space. I really don't know how these decisions went into being. I don't know, you know, if our environmental policy makers would have stood sitting any meeting and allowed this to happen. But we are facing that reality right now. And they're proposing to build a luxury now, housing development on that space. More than 800 homes, greater than 4,000 people to live on this 160 acres of land. It's pristine. It's part of the Rehoboam watershed. All right. And so with this proposal, we will forever change the landscape of road. And I know that Steertown is not a stranger to this space. I know that majority of people in Steertown lands, collected water, firewood, lime, you know what I mean? Pick up janga, crayfish, swimming at the pools them, you know what I mean? Baptism hole, you know, get baptized in those holes. I know we have used that watershed responsible from ever since, and it has served us very well. And I am here right now saying to our community, this is an environmental catastrophe that is waiting to happen. When they mash this up, it's done. We already have water problem in a Steertown because the infrastructure is not modernized. We won't have no water for brush your teeth, wash your clothes, water your gardens, if you cook, clean, and do all these kind of things. You cannot build on watershed. And that's what we're proposing. One of the things that they have not, you know, really tell us is that across the road, next door to the hydro plant, they've also given check 27.9 acres of beachfront land. And I am sitting here as the president of Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, JABEM, who's fighting to protect our access right to beaches and rivers. And they have given away another 27.9 acres of beachfront. And so losing only, you know, that's watershed, but we're also losing another pristine beach environment and ecosystem that they're going to trample and destroy. So there's a lot for us to protect. And that's why we are gathering here right now to discuss how we push back, how we persuade our government who's supposed to have our interest at not allow a project like this, you know, I mean, to be built. If you were able to see what we're projecting on the screen, so if you're on YouTube on Zoom, you will see the magnitude of the project and all the phases that this project is coming into being. At the end of it, all these units will be built. More than 834 units of houses that are luxury and gated, which means that our community members will not be able to access these spaces. They are gated community that locks us out. Now we live there forever. We are Steertown. We used to work the plantations of Roaring River. We used to, our ancestors work these things and come in this neo-colonialist era where they now gate us out of our land, gate us out of access to our environment, and in return, destroying the watershed. I don't know how in their rational minds they can do that. The Duns River is designated ecological sensitive area in 2023. Now, Duns River is linked to Roaring River. I don't see how you can uncouple both spaces. So the watershed must be protected as part of this initiative that the government is promoted about protection of lands in 30% of our land by 2030. So we're having a serious problem here where you're trying to push these luxury development, destroy ecological areas, and then you're saying you're doing ecological sensitive designation right next door to it. You cannot uncouple the hydrology of Duns River from that of Roaring River. They are one and the same. And we know it because we used to walk those lands. And everyone in Steertown know that we never entered Duns River from the gate. We entered Duns River from the top of the river because we walk from Steertown and walk through those rivers and enter Duns River. That is what we did when we were children. And now here we are. We have to be fighting to protect that space. And the fight is necessary. And we should engage in this fight. It's meaningful because once they take that out, we all will lose. And this is not only a fight for Steertown, this is a fight for the entire Jamaica. Must understand that our ecological heritage, our rivers, our beaches, our wetlands, our lagoons, we must fight to protect them. Water is a finite resource. Once you destroy it, it's not coming back. When you take forests out and build houses, you impact great changes in climate. It's not coming back. So let no one fool you about any kind of man-made regeneration of these spaces. It will not come back. Looking at your own yard in a Steertown, look down Greenwich Acres, look over Moriel Bush, all of these spaces that we are looking Draxall. Look at them. They're massive housing projects. They are not coming back green. and all the rivers that we used to tread in those spaces and access to our coastal spaces, our beaches, we have lost them. That is the reality that we're all living. So we should not fool ourselves. They are locking us out. So it's either you're on the side of we the people, or you're on the side of what? Destruction. You got to pick. You have to pick a side. You must get involved in this, and you must let the government know, you must let National Environmental Planning Agency know that we don't approve of this. This is a bad idea. This is an environmental disaster that is happening. We see, ESL has shown where some of these rivers are. They've shown Little River running through there and the Roan River pipeline and Duns River. If you take a look comprehensive on it, I don't see how you can segregate both those spaces and say I'm going to build over here and I'm not going to impact over here. No, it don't work like that. Nature is a very complex web, a complex ecosystem that feeds off of each other. So Steertown, that's what they're planning for us, to destroy that space. And in turn, they're destroying our lifeblood, our water, our forest, our wetland, and it will not come back. And it is going to have a massive impact on Laughing Water Beach that they have also locked us out of, that we have been using, more than 100 years. We cannot go into these spaces. What have we done to deserve this kind of isolation? What have we done to deserve this kind of exclusion? What have the environment done to attract this kind of abuse? Because it's beautiful, because it's in a really, pristine spot on the island, it has attracted this and you just want to come in now and destroy it? No, we need to protect this thing. Environmentally, we need to protect it. This lush, it's green, it harbors our heritage, as Jenna talks about the Taino, the red ware. Marcus Garvey, is said to be born there. His parents and grandparents were enslaved there. We are tied to that land. And it's funny that even the National Environmental Planning Agency and their website, when you look at watershed objective, they are talking about that these things need to be managed and promote integrated protection around this space, that it needs to be conserved. And that development of land, water, and resources in watershed must be for their sustainable use and benefit to the nation. So if the watershed is so important to the nation, why would you be digging it out and putting houses for 4,000 people that the coast cannot support? It don't have the infrastructure to do it. But it's above that. It's about the lifeblood of the nation, water, a finite resource. They also said that local participation and community involvement in watershed management is very essential, and that the community through NGOs, youths, women must be included in planning and implementation interventions. None of this was done with us. No one came to us and sit down and says, well, this is the deal, this is what we are planning, and explain to us thoroughly, because no one in Steertown would agree to that. Not one person in Jamaica in their sound mind would give any authorization to go and remove a watershed, to build houses on it, when Jamaica have thousands of more acres that you could do that. So I rest my case that we must show up for the environment. It's begging for us to show up for it. And this is why words were written in the Constitution of Jamaica that says we have the right to enjoy a healthy and productive environment free from the threat of injury or damage from environmental abuse and degradation of the ecological heritage. This goes right into the face of that constitutional right that we have in Jamaica. Destruction and degradation and harm to the environment. And that is the fundamental truth. So Steertown, Chalky Hill, Mammy Bay, Old Fort Bay, Airport, Hermitage, Davistown, St. Anne's Bay, we must show up for the environment, and in so doing, show up for ourselves to protect this space. So we'll ask Jones, you good?
Just for somebody to share them experience of what happened when China Harbor built the toll road. What happened in Steertown. And I mean, with this project coming, can imagine what can happen. So I'll ask Mesmus to share his experience.
Yeah. Good day, everyone. We all know, so like ever since this toll road came, normally we used to out of water, but every time the rain fall now, we get extra dirty water and all them really. So imagine now, when them build 800 units over there, so for them and them people them live, we not have no water, you know. So I am here firstly to say I don't want to say stop progress, but at the end of the day, we need some clarity on how they're going to ensure say our water supply is protected. And so far, I'm not hearing no good talk about that as yet. But from my experience, living in Steertown from many years now, ever since that toll road has been built, every time the rain fall, our water get get affected terribly. So much so that I have to turn them off every now and then. It used to happen, but it get worse from my experience. So we can't just sit aside and watch them ruin the water supply, right? And then again now, how much families here can afford to buy water to drink? Because next thing is a trucker come in and we have to pay for the water and stuff, you know. So what I love for everybody here to support the initiative and tell a friend and tell everybody so we can have some signatures and the petitions, some persons who have email. Then we're gonna ask if we send out some email to NEPA and the other organizations, like have them come and talk to us and clear it up, or them have to stop it. You understand what I say? Remember me the day for me a little youth and me and my kids them, so me would have loved for my kids them can enjoy Steertown as much as I did. Wouldn't everybody say the same? Yeah, so that is why I'm here and that is why I'm endorsing this initiative at the moment, yeah? So, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Yeah, Devon.
Yes, we're gonna ask Daniel Nemhard, an environmentalist, to address the community.
Okay, no worries. Apologies for my voice as I have the flu. I don't have a lot to add other than what Devon has just said. He said it so well. The environment is so key to our public health, to our well-being and our quality of life and livelihoods. And I find that whenever we are doing these developments, especially on the North Coast, those things are neglected or they are done slapdash without any true regard for how those things will really impact the people living in those communities. Yes, there is a document that's publicly available that people can read. It's a very long document, lots of words. I don't think that is necessarily designed for every and anybody to be able to read and understand, which is why meetings like these are so important. But they are not required under the law. The law only asks that you do one public consultation before proceeding with a project, which obviously is not enough. Because as Devon said in that document, 260 people being consulted, that's nothing, right? There's a forest there that's very important to the watershed as well, and all of that forest is going to be stripped away. All of the wildlife that is present there, some of them are only found in Jamaica, that will be impacting negatively when the land is cleared to make way for these houses. The roots of the trees and the plants that grow in that forest are key to the watershed, to the aquifer. We know that in St. Ann, it's this karstic environment where you have sinkholes everywhere, you have aquifers everywhere, you have springs and rivers and tributaries. Some appear one day and then they disappear the next day. We don't have a full understanding of how that hydrology works. And we have seen, someone just spoke about how, the construction of the highway impacted the water quality and water supply. And there's no reason to think that's going to be any different in this scenario. So yes, clearing that space of all the vegetation there is going to have negative impacts on public health. The construction of those homes is going to impact people's day-to-day lives. And once the air becomes gated and closed off, it's also going to impact people's lives. That beachfront by Roaring River Laughing Water, it's already experiencing levels of pollution, and that is documented in this environmental impact assessment that was done. And so when you add additional homes that are going to contribute to the sewage runoff and the construction runoff, obviously it's going to further degrade that area that we know that people rely on for recreation, for the culture, for spiritual activities, for fishing, for their livelihood, that they've been accessing since, way before some of us were born here. So that is an impact as well. And so water security, food security, livelihood security, these are things that are set to be negatively impacted with this project, and they're not adequately addressed in this impact assessment that was done, because many times statements are made like, okay, this project is going to, positively impact the economy in St. Ann, when it's not something that they actually measure. They don't come back and do any studies to ask people, okay, did you find a job? Is it paying you any better than before? Is your life any better than before? They just put the words in there and they know that people buy it, but they don't actually measure it. And I think that has poor intentions behind it. So like I said, I don't have a lot more to add than what Devon spoke to. There are others on this Zoom that I'm sure have much more to add. I'm currently reviewing this document that was prepared for the environmental impact assessment, because we do intend to submit comments on it. And so if any of you have a personal experience in the area about the environment or the water, or just having access, how it's going to impact traffic in the area, all of these things, feel free to speak to Devon or anybody else, and we will add it into the review. So that's all I have to say.
Devon?
Yes.
Some people just come, so I just want to just go over just to enlighten them as to what we are talking about, because some might come in and don't understand what is happening. All right.
You're going to talk to them? Is that what you said?
No, man. I'm just going to just state what is happening here.
Okay, and then we'll ask Dr. Susan Lowe to talk. Is that what we're going to do next?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
All right, for some people who are just coming in, you might be wondering what we are talking about. We are talking about a proposed project by China Harbour to build 800 houses over by the Roaring River property. Something that we know will affect us. We have some expert that is on Zoom. We have some here as well. Just try to enlighten you and let you know what is happening, the impact that it will have on us. You're proposing, well, they assume that it should be 4,000 people that will have to occupy that space. Now, look at our roads today. Now, from Runaway Bay all the way back through Ocherius, all the way back to St. Mary, it's a problem on the road. So can you imagine 4,000 people? And these houses are iron house, meaning with bird trails, clubhouse, swimming pool, all the luxury. So, I mean, if we're thinking about even getting one of those houses, you can imagine So, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is that they are building on the watershed, and that is very risky. And that's what we are here today to enlighten everybody about. So I'll ask Dr. Lowe to come and speak. Dr. Lowe is all the way from Kingston, and she will enlighten us more as to what is happening.
Say anything about good, bad, or indifferent, but I need us. I need us to understand how the Chinese think, because that is very important to how they operate. The same way the Maroons were a very metaphysical people and did everything in concert with the powers unseen, the Chinese operate the same way. Their system is called feng shui. And if you take a line from Laughing Waters, Roaring River, go down to Goat Island, it is almost a dead north-south meridian. There's not even hardly 4 miles off between them. If you draw a point out to Nain, it is almost a dead isosceles triangle. The triangle to the Chinese is a symbol of focus, intent, and go and get it. It is in the heart of Jamaica. That triangle is built in the heart of Jamaica. When you look at the metaphysics of Goat Island, it was for them, black turtle to the north, green dragon to the east, white tiger to the west, red phoenix to the south. What do I mean by that? You had a perfectly protected environment for their shipping port. There were protective hills, weather-wise, to the north. There was regenerative and protective environment in the reef system to the south. There was the good luck of the commercial center to the east, Kingston. And what was the White Tiger? An offshore banking center, Cayman. They take the same system. It was an protected UNESCO environment that they wanted to create a port on top of. You take the same system and you go into the north. You have the protective hills behind it, the water to the front. The water to these Chinese means wisdom and calm and all the rest of those things that we are going to be cut off from our populace who needs wisdom and calm and some space to breathe. And you have on either side, the Green Dragon and the White Tiger, same thing again, 2 viable, very viable commercial centers, Mobay and Kingston. They know how to pick sites. And if you check out how they go about picking what they pick, they all, serious businesses in China, all use the feng shui system. And you can bet on it that they are going to pick the best and the most financially viable places. It just also happens to be the same for us. So why are we giving it up? And why are we not paying attention to how they pick and choose what they're taking from us? And then our government gives it up.
That is so true.
What? Oh my gosh.
All right, so we have next, Evan. Mike is on.
Yeah, we can do a mix if we have someone from the Zoom who want to speak now. We can, and then we can go to Mike. Do we have anyone on the Zoom who wish to say anything before we go back to the community?
Hi, Devon. I can speak.
Okay, we have Teresa Moody from the from Jamaica Environmental Trust.
Okay. Thanks for all the words that have been said. Very useful and important points made. I had gone to the public consultation that was put on, and one of the things that had me very concerned was a statement that was made by representatives of China Harbor that said, and I'm paraphrasing, the North Coast is beautiful, and why else would the government want such, or it is, I think, let me rephrase. The North Coast is beautiful, and this is why it is meant for high-end developments, housing developments, and resorts. And this is why the government of Jamaica gave them the responsibility to develop this land. And that's very concerning because it is highlighting this trend that we're seeing where the North Coast is increasingly, or coastal environments are increasingly becoming more difficult to access by ordinary Jamaicans, who don't have privilege, power. And this is extremely concerning. But when we've been going through the environmental impact assessment, and we've identified a couple concerns, many of which are not actually, it raises more questions, and many of which are not actually answered in the report. For example, it speaks about water supply, a concern that was raised by many people at the public consultation. And, it says that the EIA states that potable water will be supplied by the National Water Commission. But at the same time, we have so many people that are raising the concerns that they don't have access. The EIA actually did not comment on the capacity of the existing local water purveying system. And we find that I think that's a very important point that needs to be addressed, because you can't be putting in place these high-end developments at the expense of people who live in the area and who already have challenges with water. We also saw where, they spoke about a lot of the cumulative impacts. When you put a project in place like this, it's going to demand, again, more potable water, increased traffic congestion. But this was kind of dismissed at the meeting as well as kind of like a bigger issue that is not for the project to address and more for the government to address. Again, these are things that need to be adequately taken into consideration. And we find that there's not much attention placed there. And Danny made a point as well. The EIA kind of basically gives the project its blessing. And, it says that the option to, let me see where it says that the project could attract all of these affluent residents and stimulate further downstream development. And if you didn't do it, the land would just remain as secondary forests, but very well preserved with high endemic species of secondary forests. And this is a problem because essentially you're making all these positive statements about this project without any actual evidence that it will in fact create all of these opportunities. And those are statements that really need to be supported before any kind of decision is made. I mean, I could go on with some of the other concerns, but I encourage you all, as has been said before, that take the time to look at it, raise your concerns, and ensure that your comments are noted and submitted to the National Environmental and Planning Agency, because otherwise the project will go ahead without any kind of objection. And if you want your voice to be heard, you have to speak out and ensure that it is heard and ensure that your objections are heard. Thank you.
Teresa, can I just add, has NEPA invited comments? And if so, when is the deadline for sending in your comments?
Yes, NEPA did invite comments. I think I've heard different days or dates. I've heard 10 days after the public consultation. I've heard 21 days. The 10 days after would have passed by now, but I don't think it should deter anybody from submitting comments. And I think it has to be written comments. So if if anybody is uncomfortable with putting in their own comments or formulating any written comments, I think you should contact Devon and his team to or even Jet to ensure that it is, submitted and it captures what they have to say.
Devon, let me interject here. The date is February 1st, but I just want to let people understand, because some people might be wondering some of what we're talking about. The ESL, which is the Environmental Solution Limited, they are the one who did the impact assessment, meaning do the testing, right? I spoke to the manager. She said that they are not for the project or against the project. They just push out the findings, meaning that they did what they have to do and present it. Now, it's a 397 page that is being published, right? The public can have access to it, but I don't know how many people in the community have seen that. It's a very complex document, but we have gone through some of it and we have seen where it can impact us. Because I was at the meeting down by St. Anne's Bay, and all they could talk about that this could happen, when we know it will happen, right? So it's a long document that they're talking about. And as my good friend just talked about, there are some stuff that in there that is questionable, and we shouldn't take it like that. So just to let you know what is that. So the date is February 1st. Go ahead, Devon.
Okay, great. Thanks, Teresa, for that. We'll ask Mike Jackelich from the Old Fort Bay community to address the community. And I'd like to just say that we welcome the collaboration in communities in and around Steertown who have lived in this area all our lives and experienced this ecosystem and how good it has been to us, our lives, and how we need to protect it. And that rights, is afforded to us, the people, we the people, to defend it and protect it, because it has protected us all these generations. And so we need to rise up. And Mike, is one of the champions that, is aligning his interests and environment in this fight. Mike, floor is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I drove up there earlier to see the setup, and I drove up the little lane where the bus stop is. We call it Little Lane. First place you can turn up to go to Steertown, past the roundabout. And I remember, I've been here 50 years living here. And I remember walking up that little lane. It was just a footpath, dirt footpath, because we wanted to go up to the Hillview Club to listen to the Mighty Diamonds and drink a Red Stripe and walk all the way back down. So I think I qualify as knowing a little bit about this area. For the first 25 years of my life living here, I was at sea every day, or most every day. The reefs out there, Andrew's father and I named. I was in shock. I listened to everybody today, and I'm going to want to comment on a couple of those things. But as someone that loves the sea, I've seen it go through Hurricane Allen. I've seen it come back. I see it regenerative in a certain way. When the China Harbor cut the road through here, and let me comment on the road. Let me step and just say this. I'm an attorney, and I also built Mystic Mountain, which is on the outskirts of Ocho Rios, outside of the watershed, outside of the Belmont property. And it was built with environmental sensitivity, all right? So when they built, China Harbor did the first plan, They were coming down through the watershed. NROC presented that to me. At that time, Mystic Mountain was going up. And they said, this can't happen. So they rerouted it. And that's why we have the roundabout where we have it today. We avoided the watershed. Okay. So when they built it and everything came down next to my house because Arbison Gully empties next to my yard. Tons and tons and tons and tons of silt came out. And we have pictures, and I went to NEPA about it. We made a big stink about it because it covered the reefs and the coral polyps and killed it. Now, I can say they might be coming back. All right. For the next 25 years of my life, when I haven't been diving so much, most mornings you can find me in the watershed walking at dawn with my 2 dogs. I know every corner of that watershed. If you're sitting on the playfield now and you look to the east, where they want to build this thing, which I want to comment on, is up to the Great House, and then down along the road and back to the roundabout. We can talk about traffic later, but the points they made, let me just talk about the beauty of that watershed. Roaring River comes out, it bubbles out of the rocks. It's gorgeous. Whenever they turn off the power station and it runs in its river course, the waterfall there is one of the most gorgeous in the Caribbean for sure. Maybe the world. It makes Dunn's River Falls pale. Any of you guys that have been lucky enough to see when that's happening, it's a sight to behold. Matter of fact, back in the 20s and 30s, they made postcards of it. It was a tourist attraction before Dunn's River Falls. So when you go and we talk about aquifers, when you walk, let's walk from the Great House that way. You got Roaring River, and then as you walk along this, I call it escarpment, where the land rises. At the foot of that, maybe you have 20 or 30 springs. From there until you get to maybe the Bogue Great House, right? In the bush. And all those springs form rivers. Forms a river that runs through Rio Chico, forms Dunn's River Falls, forms a little river that runs through the outskirts of Mystic Mountain and falls up where they call Little Dunn's River. All those rivers are formed up there in that aquifer. And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I was upset and I cried a little for the reef, but I've seen the reef come back somewhat. If we allow this to happen, thank God I lived the 50 years here and seen it. I won't be here 20 years from now when this disaster reaches its full potential, right? I believe in Jamaicans for Jamaica, right? And to put a bunch of people in houses that no one else here, including me, will ever be able to afford, right? And then tell me that you're doing this environmental study. Listen, I'm an attorney. You pay me enough money, I can make anything sound good. That's all I'm going to say. That's a 236-page report. And no matter how much you want to value environmental solutions, they were paid to make it work. So that's why it's working. Let's not kid ourselves. But I will cry when I see this happen, because you're going to lose all of that. It's just the beginning. You have to protect the boundary. You have to protect that valley. And as far as a merchant, as far as someone that does business in this area, I mean, I never in my life thought I would see it take me an hour to get to Priory on a Friday night from my yard. Much less when a cruise ship comes into town. The madness that happened the last few weeks, where it took 45 minutes to get to Mystic Mountain, which was from the roundabout, middle of the day. And I asked the question at the meeting, what about that? And they said they haven't done a traffic impact assessment yet. That's madness. Absolute madness. So let them in. So I'm just saying to you all, I love Jamaica. I've been here 50 years of my life on this beach. I've been here 52 years, actually. I started in St. Mary Robbins Bay. I consider myself someone that is an environmentalist and passionate about the environment. Like I said, you know, in the Vietnam era, we had an expression that when they saw everyone evacuated, there's a famous picture. And if this happens, I'll be glad I'll be catching one of those last helicopters out of Saigon, because I don't want to be around to see it. I really don't. So we have email addresses. My community is 100% against this. And we need to go ahead and tell these people that we don't want to see it. And the people that can address it in an academic and a scientific way, I beg you to do that and share that information with all of us. That's so important. And I want to thank you for the time. And if we stand ready here in Old Fort Bay, all of us, 100%, don't want to see this. And as Jamaicans, I don't think we want to see it either. So one love and thank you for letting me comment.
May I say something?
Yes, give thanks, Mike. Just before you jump in, this is you know, another member of the community expressing their relationship with the land and how the land has been good to them and how we have been good to the land. That should stay. The water should stay in the ground to serve its people. The forest should stay so we can continue to benefit from fresh oxygen. The biodiversity should remain. So those species that are only indigenous to that local should stay. That ecosystem should remain. All those streams that Mike speak about, that feeds into Dunn's River, feeds into the river that runs into Rio Chico, feeds into Laughing Waters, that feeds into many of the streams around here. They should remain as is, because there is an alternative. There are other lands that exist in Jamaica that this project can be built. And when Teresa mentioned that, Czech is saying that this is a beautiful space.
You know what? Let me just say, it's too beautiful. It's too beautiful. And at the meeting that we all attended, I did point out to them that I don't think we're against development, but they should build this someplace else, another government land, and they should build a school, and they should build a hospital, and they should build their own road out of it, so it doesn't congest what we have further. Link it to the new bypass that's going to the place there, Montego Bay. I forgot to add that, but I'm really glad you brought that up. There's other places to build.
Yes. So we'll continue to push back. In the end, we'll talk about some next steps. But yes, who was going to speak? I did not catch the name.
Michael Old.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Actually, I'm glad to hear that we have legal minds on board, because we're talking about something that goes beyond Jamaica back to Jamaica. That's part of my ancestry in the island, the Yamaya. I'm a member of the United Confederation of Taino People, that's out of New York City, whose founder is at the United Nations dealing with issues of heritage, and also the destruction of territory, ancestral territory. So it's not difficult to make that site a heritage site that will prevent any further destruction of our Jamaica, our land that has already been somewhat destroyed by the incursion of Europeans and the rest of the people who came into the Caribbean. There are only a few places left. You said that that was the Red Ware Taino area. That's an easy issue to invite the United Nations into talking to the Jamaican government to prevent them from destroying a heritage location. Okay, so I would like for you to think about that because it's more serious than just finding homes for the rich in Jamaica. Thank you.
Thanks for adding that. Emma, you had your hand up. Floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Devon. Going back to the water, and I strongly endorse what Michael just said, because there is a very strong and important cultural heritage aspect to all this, which is likely to be destroyed or damaged. But in terms of the water, is there I'm not sure if it's in the EIA because I don't think I read that far, but is there a proper assessment of how, in terms of volume of water, how this will affect the area and also Dunn's River? Supposing Dunn's River is so close. I'm not a scientist, but as a non-scientist, when I look at the map, I think, my God, supposing Dunn's River runs dry, a huge our biggest tourist attraction on the island. That's another thing. But I just wonder if a proper assessment has been done of the impact that 800 apartments will have on the water supply. How is NWC going to cope? It's just a general question, but
I mean, it is. I mean, I think we all think there's shortfalls. I mean, I think the hydrology is not fully understood, the interconnectivity of all those aquifers. Now, I should point out that Dunn's River, is actually listed as one of those protected area. So, and that was done in 2023. So, it has a designation that should protect it. Now, if you look close those two spaces are, there's really you can't separate Dunn's River from Roaring River. You can't.
Exactly, that's my question. Yeah, how? You can't.
No way to separate it. So that's why you cannot designate Dunn's River as a sensitive area. No, and then allow the development to go on in the same contiguous watershed. Don't make no sense. So based on this, the project should be shut down.
Hi, Devon. I just want to also quickly add on this issue of water and interconnectivity and vegetation, etc. We haven't really even spoken about the issue of climate change and how it's set to impact the region, especially Jamaica, moving forward. And that further highlights this, how important it is to consider the water security and the health integrity of the watershed, and how building this multi-phase, massive housing development is going to impact the area under those scenarios of climate change. So we're obviously expecting longer periods of drought. We've already seen across the island how other watersheds have dried up unseasonally, and even on the North Coast. And we know that we have these periods of high intensity rainfall where all of the water washes down from the top of the watershed into the towns, into the local rivers, and it causes pollution and flooding and damages people's homes and livelihoods. So all of that relates to the hydrology, relates to the integrity of the watershed, and should also be considered when we're talking about clearing these large strips of land to facilitate high investment homes for affluent people.
Thanks for that addition. We're gonna ask. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. We have somebody, if they may want to say something.
So Jones, after that person speak, we'll ask Brian to speak.
Okay. All right, Mr. Berry,
Good evening. I'm from Steertown. We're not getting no water. I have to get up 2 o'clock a morning time to get the water. And when I say now go work. No water at all. 2 o'clock, me have to get up out of my bed and come out, and I'm 77-year-old next week Sunday. So when I say now go work.
all right, I guess what she's saying is that there have been some restriction in the community as it relates to water. And when China Harbor, they were asked about where they go and get the water from, they said it's National Water Commission. So if we are experiencing problem in the community, can you imagine when those 800 houses go up? Just imagine. So, you know, it's very serious. So I want to say something.
Come on. Easy, so no. Me no bright. I'm in a fool. Rasta, we have one smart you, Dr. Taylor, round me from Seaton, Barnaso. If they want to keep a mean, may keep it with Dr. Taylor and the richer people, the smarter kids them not Seaton. No make talking, no make Chanyaba cooking no meat with we. Keep it Dr. Taylor and Philip them bright people. For me don't, but me a bright people. Well, me happy.
Thank you, son. Thank you, son.
All right, good evening, Steertown, good evening, Jamaica, good evening to those on the social media platform. I'm one of the people who strongly believe in equal rights and justice, and as far as I'm seeing right now, we are not getting any form of justice in our own country. I'm a son of the soil and I will die for this, all right? The Chinese is no benefit to our country. The Chinese come to take our country away from us and our livelihood. Many people may want those houses to be built over there, but those houses not going to benefit us. Because first and foremost, we cannot meet the requirements for those houses. People may want jobs, but after the job finish, how we are going to live? Our livelihood gone. The water, you know, without water, there's no life. And if they pollute our water, take our water away from us, then the whole generation is going to deteriorate. We are going to dry up. We are going to die. Chinese come to mash up Jamaica. Chinese try to capture every town space, right? And then they build in volume. And because the people of Jamaica is so uneducated to what's going on, then them give them Chinese the power. You understand? Because them like cheapness and the people of Jamaica like favors. You understand? They don't know the true value of themselves and they don't know, they're not going to understand themselves. Marcus Garvey already said it a long time ago. We're not going to know ourselves until we're back against the wall. And that's why so much people get up and agree when they don't understand. If people talking to you and you don't understand, make them know clearly, I don't understand. Don't agree to them terms because it's going to affect you at the end of the day. But if you stand up and fight for what you want, then you know we have what we want. So Senton, Jamaica, those who on social media platform, this is my voice. You understand? We need to stand up for what we want. We need to come together as one people, as one voice, and then we will achieve what we want. We say no to Chinese, so we don't need those horses. We need a better life for us. If it's not going to be us, the native of the land, we don't need this. The government of Jamaica not doing anything for us. When I say the government, I'm not going to be JLP or PNP political ways. I'm talking about both sides, right? They use the people of Jamaica as what we would call them as a big loan, all right? The government use the people of Jamaica as a big loan to pay for them lifestyle and them system. You understand? People of Jamaica is no benefit to the government. They treat us like ag. Jamaican people, how the government treat us is like when you go in your kitchen and you peel some yam skin and some banana skin and some cabbage skin, throw in one bucket for your ag. Anything the government go no, I would not want. So you have to understand on yourself. Me not talk about GLP, me not talk about PNP. Me talk about the government because all of them are the government, not true? So I want to open your mouth and talk. I want to stay aside and coward. When you come out and say we don't want it, that's the only way it go happen. If we don't come out and say we don't want it, it not go happen. Me alone can't do it. Jones alone can't do it. But all of we can do it. All right? That is my say. Thanks.
Thanks, Hannah. Well said, well said. Dr. Taylor.
Yes, Brian, you're up. Brian, you there?
Oh. Oh, yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, man, hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, greetings one and all. I just want to shout out the brethren before who spoke. That was a good talk, and the elder before that. In fact, what I want to suggest one time, I don't know if this is being recorded, but we need a vox pop. You know, we need to be able to capture these voices, these Steertown voices, you know, and put it on the social media and distribute it to the TVJ and the CVMs and the what have you, so that we can hear our voice. Because let me tell you something, this whole EIA study is a rubber stamp initiative. It is the basis of it is that it will go over your head and under your feet, and the people will just comply and nobody will respond to it. It is a 216 or thereabouts report that is supposed to be digested by people and communities, working people and communities in 21 days. Bare foolishness. So we need, so in our efforts, in our writing, just before prefacing all of the things that is wrong with this project, we need to push back against this deadline because them take people for fool. You know, you understand? Communities need time to process these big words and these pages and to put their responses together. So all of those, so that is one of the things where I advise. So a lot of things have been said. I don't have much to add. The one thing I would say is that one of the things to be wary of is the 9-day wonder where you know we lose our attention and focus. And so I hope that that I can, in concert with the Steertown Community Organization, can put our efforts towards keeping this thing bubbling and in the forefront of the community. So that's all I have to say now. So give thanks for the opportunity for your listening ears, and solidarity. Bless.
All right, give thanks. So we will just open these mics to anyone who want to intervene before we talk about, or just summarize what is it that we want. And I think that is clearly laid out, that we want this project, to really stop and to find an alternate location to do this development. And some of the next step that we're thinking. So Jones, if there's anyone else there who, want to say something, would encourage that, and anyone online who want to, let's just.
We have somebody here who want to say something.
Yeah, man, just open up the mic. Let the community chime in.
Good evening. Good evening, my fellow Steertown people, whether you're born and grow a Steertown or you come on here and everything. As the great Michael Manley would say, the word is love. So let me just give you my 2 pieces. I will begin by saying I am 100% in support of the development that is going to take place on the Roaring River property. Okay, the Chinese may be building this development. What we as a people should be saying to the Chinese. I remember many, many years ago when I was in Steertown and I was, a young man, part of the socialist movement, everything that Michael Manley was doing, I was part of it. And one of the things that I remember that he says was that there should be no, what I would say, proposed development community like what is happening here without proper infrastructure that is put in. I mean, as far as I am aware, the Chinese harbor, they have got the technology, the manpower, the money, and everything to take care of everything that needs to be done there. I'm telling you because I know. I live in Steertown here and we're talking about water. Ochirayas mean 8 river. You have river gully around the sun. You have all of these river here where I run. Steertown water come from Clarendon. The water we're on here, so everybody are talking about water table. What I would like to see is proper infrastructure investment in water, so that the same little water over here, so where we are talking about, can come in at the pipe to benefit people. It over there so right now in our benefit nobody. I just heard that we're talking about Laughing Water. Yeah, but look at Laughing Water. It start upper intake of the south. It go in a pipeline down here, so, and it come out on the beach. Chinese have the technology to do the same thing. So all we are talking about water table and everything, that over there so can go, yes, let me, this is what it's all about. Everybody have their own opinion. Right now, in Harmony Cove in between Trelawney and Senton, them propose to use 2,600 acres of land to build 26-story hotel and a whole heap of other development. Yeah? So as another thing, look how it is. We are talking about this development is for whoever and Steertown people. Now let me finish, brethren. Yeah? We are Steertown.
All right.
Yeah, please allow the gentleman to finish talking, please.
Everybody has their own opinion, so we want to hear. I understand the crowd, but we want to hear. I mean, there's so much that can be said. I don't know. I don't know if my friend Wang understand. So Wang, you want to come finish your statement? I mean, everybody have their opinion.
So, okay, as far as I am concerned, no, you can't say what you want to say. Yes, so me born and grow, me no come on here. Me come from Yasso. See it over there, so there, and see it down there, so. So me start Steertown and me end it. My mother also over there, so and my father also over here. And Yasso my neighbor drink for. So nobody now have to tell me where me come from. But let me entitled to my own opinion. Yeah? So, brethren, no, hold on. All right. This gentleman here Yeah, he is trying very, very hard to bring the community together. Yeah, well, say what you want to say. Yeah, yeah.
Can we please allow the gentleman to complete his statement? We have other people who wish to speak.
This
Please complete
gentleman
his statement.
here is trying hard to bring the community together. Yeah, he is saying he want the youth them to come back together and to start doing things that they should be doing correctly. Yeah, let me finish that. Let me finish that. They will interrupt me for. Okay, I give way. You know what the man talk, then okay. Yeah? All right. So, how can me said we want to encourage the youth them and for them to change from what them doing? Yeah? No. If me a very sensible way, you take all the little young people here. Why would I want to be patronizing to the young people to say that the development that is being built, it is beyond the reach of Steertown people? Load of bollocks, foolishly. Shut up your mouth and make me talk. Go back up a chalky, because you're not bother nobody. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, hold on. So, wow. Listen. So what I am saying, there is no way you could be saying the youth them cannot afford, or Steertown people cannot afford the development. So, as a young, ambitious person, what somebody would be thinking about, I would want to go to school, I will get my education, and I will get a good job, and I will try and get one of those property over there. So to start out by saying, it beyond the reach of Steertown people, we are not even looking that the young people and the youth are the future of our nation. So when we talk about this beyond the reach of Steertown people, who we are talking? 60-year-old people like myself, my argument is looking at the future, the young people, so that them can go about themselves in the right way, do something properly, because those houses over there, them not be on the reach of Steertown people, because the youth are the future. Yeah, so as far as them talk about water and all that kind of thing over there, no water in over Roaring River have got anything to do with any pipe in a Steertown. None of it. And every development that they have around here, it impact on some kind of river. Yeah, the boy. We come on my country and you know how me talk. Yeah, me come on my country. Why are gonna kill me now?
Thanks, one.
All right, Jenna. I think we need to.
Yeah, let's calm down. Everybody have their opinion. Maybe it's not enlightened as to what is happening, because the idea is not about even affording the house. So that's the first thing that is wrong. It's not about the houses, affordability. It's about building on the watershed. The environment, our oxygen that we breathe will be affected. There's so many things. So it's not about the house. Even if it was low income house, it would be the same thing. Don't build on the watershed. That's what we're saying. We are not against development. We are not about, I read some of the report, and one of the things that they said that we have shortage of houses, right? Now, when you're doing your survey, and for you to come up with shortage of houses, then you know that a lot of people might, don't have a house. So you judge that based on your geographic area. Now, yes, we are short of houses, right? But goes back to affordability. Can the public afford those? I mean, that is not the conversation, what I'm saying. So that won't solve our housing problem. Because if the local cannot buy the house, then that won't solve our house problem. So, you know, there's a lot can be said. Devon?
Yes, yes. Anybody else want to talk, Bridget?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, man, make it open up the mic.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leroy Byfield. Most people know me as Junior, and I am from this community, Steertown. The real question is, it's not an argument about watershed and everything like that. What are the benefits to Steertown? How is Steertown going to benefit from this development? If there are no benefits for Steertown and the surrounding community, then the project should not go on. It's just that simple. That is the main question. The Chinese are going to build this property. We have no problem with that. They're going to take their profit and they're going to go their way with their money. What's going to happen to the people of Steertown and the surrounding community? So what we have to do as a group of people in Steertown, we have to get up, we have to stand up, and we have to fight for our rights. That's what we have to do. Because when it's all said and done, we are the one who's going to suffer the consequence, not the Chinese people. I don't think the Chinese are doing anything wrong. If we don't stand up and fight for what is ours, why shouldn't the Chinese come in and take it from us? Because we are goddamn idiots. It is our community. Where are the people who are supposed to be out here today? I email all my friends or on Facebook. Where are they? Most of them are not here. But tomorrow or next week or when the project is completed, everybody's going to be complaining about it. The Chinese are this, the Chinese are that. What did you do about it? Now is your chance to come up, stand up, get up and fight for your rights. That's all I have to say. It's not a big deal. We don't need a lot of fancy talk. We are not politicians. We are regular people. We're just people of the community. We're not rich people. Most of these gated communities are going to benefit the Chinese. Maybe some of us can afford to buy a house, but 95% or 98% of the people in this community cannot afford it. And then when you're all locked out and you walk and you see the haves on one side and the have not on the other side, then what you're going to say? You know what this reminds me of? Colonialism. It reminds me of South Africa. We're going to sit back here in modern time and let our community fall back into colonialism. That's what we're doing. We have to stand up and fight for what's ours. That's all we have to do. It's simple. I'm not talking about physical fighting, you know. I'm just talking about protesting peacefully. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, thank you, Junior. Yeah, man, well said. Oh, we have somebody else want to say something?
I just want to say blessed love to everyone, especially to the brethren, Devon Taylor, who is a champion for the people. And other champions, you know. We just want to say, well, after the talk from this brethren, it's like, you just kind of just make you feel like you'd get ignorant. But we can't get ignorant still because it's that going to defeat the whole process. So let us examine what this brethren has said. This brethren is actually saying that we must keep quiet, allow the development. What is development in any way? I think development is supposed to be something where directly consult the people first to begin with. Development supposed to take into consideration of our environment, like these natural aquifers, these places, these natural environment where we depend on. It seems like this brethren have a disconnect to what is real, because I mean, you can't talk about Steertown water come from this one. I personally, I was in a part of a group years ago, Orca that them call it, and we did a study of this water source here in Steertown. And the result was, it was alarming. It's like the dead animal are finding at the water. You find maggots that come through people pipe. I have a house over Steertown right now, and I know if I go and turn on the pipe, because you turn it on for a couple of days, I'm sure you're gonna see mud coming through the water, the pipe. And if we're not talking just narrowly about Steertown, what about the rest of communities in and around the place? I mean, I know the people, they all right, this document they're talking about. How much pages you say, my brother? Now, tell me now, does the average man have the ability and the time to study this document, to know the pros and cons of this document? Are we not getting another 6 or 9? And when you have people who can understand and can speak for it and can educate on these things, we can't have people just come choke cold water on the fire and burn it out. I mean, we need to encourage our people to understand what is going on around them, to stand up for them, picnic, even them, if you want to sell out, remember your picnic, have a part in this thing. And him can't talk because he's not born yet. Where I go tell him, say, if you did know, I just want the people, the ordinary people, to line up behind people like Jaben, this organization with the Brethren have, where really is doing a good work, and let us educate ourselves. Let us get behind the deep thinkers. Let's get behind the people who is doing the work. And if you don't understand, ask. If there's a meeting going on, listen. Try get the facts. Try get your head straightened out. And stop the sellout thing. Because development, the people use the word development to bring destruction to many countries and many communities. So if you don't understand the thing, brother, I'll ask you to please just quiet and allow the real people to say what they have to say. I want to encourage the ordinary man to come up and talk. Because some of you, I am kind of new to the community, but I understand how from time to time our government sell us out. And if we fight with one another for some little thing, all dumpling man kill one another over. Here is something where we need to get together and really fight for. And let us put our energies in the right direction too, because I mean, violence not going to it, right? But there are times when you really have to get some fire in yourself too, and get real hot too, and if necessary. But let us try the channels, which is open, which is intelligent, which is proactive, and which is working, which can work. Because I was saying to one member of the community this morning earlier, said there's a meeting up here and we need to come and make our voice be heard. Well, the brethren did I say right away, say, boy, just so them thing there, them gone with you already and we can't do nothing. And I was saying to the brethren, my brother, we cannot start like that. We have to get some confidence in our way. And like Marcus Garvey said, if you don't have no confidence, you're twice defeated. But if we start with a confident note, if we get together as a people, there's no limit to what we can do. Just since we can may I go in at the bus park and me see some writing put up there and chain put up there, filled in at the park. And later on, by listening to the news, I get to find out, say, the government start jump up right away and start get busy to correct these things. Why? Because the people get up and said, we're not having it. And a lot of speech still are going. And look for some more speech going where them going to tell you how much them glad the people stand up. And where was the people? Where were them where get paid for stand up with the people? They never know that this sickness are going. So I'm saying, people, that's just one other example that if we get up, stand up for what is right, we must have the victory. And if one way now work, we're going to use another way. But please, government, don't make we have to get violent. Please, listen to us, listen to our humble cry, and deal with the people. Don't make we have to really go to try one other way. Because we ancestors never have certain channels, so they had to be violent and see that if an end them action right now, we wouldn't dare a benefit from it. So let us people, each one of us, we owe it to ourselves and our generation coming after. Because the only way salvation coming up. Stop things say is a thing God going to come out of the sky to them. The day of judgment start already. The day of judgment start already. One day in the Almighty sight is like 1,000 in man. So that means that it's for me and for you and your picnic and your picnic lifetime. The judgment I got you. So we have to do our part. Get up and stand up for your right and be counted. That's all I have to say. And I'm a valiant and behind all of this. One can count on me. Respect. Give thanks.
Respect, Ross. Well said, well said, well said. But I want you to tell your friend that the one that said that this gone. If everything is a process, right? They couldn't just go and build the houses. Informing the people. So it's a process. The project has not been approved yet. Right, so I want everybody to understand. The project has not been approved yet. We can do something to start this project, right? I'm not speaking violently, but there are ways that we can do. We can send NEPA. They have asked us to reply 21 days they give us. Now, the end of the 21 days is February 1st. And if I'm right, it's Tuesday, right? So we can do something until Tuesday to start this project. So it's not lost. All right? So I'll ask the next person to speak.
Pleasant good evening, everyone. So I'm a young man that is concerned about this development in this community, right? I'm not going to say I'm for the development or against the development because that's a debate for the government to choose, right? But what I'm saying is that too many times in this country, the government come together and make some decisions without alerting the people. And I applaud them to, let me relax. I applaud them to actually come this time to ask our opinion about this development. Or whosoever put together this platform. I applaud them for that. But what I really want to say, what's the benefit for us as young people? You know, what's the benefit? Because too many times, for example, with the China Harbor development, they build the highway and they have it in their position for 60 years, right? Before we as a person, a country get that benefit from it, right? What I really want to say is that we as young people want to see the progress in this country because we're just selling out everything. We don't own anything, right? I really want to know what's happening. So for the development that is about to happen, we really want to know exactly how it's going to benefit the country, the community nearby, and that's what I'm saying.
All right, so answer for them. You mentioned 3 things that the community can benefit from. 3 jobs: security, landscaping, and housekeeping. Right? So those are the 3 jobs that they said that the community. Nothing else mentioned about the community that we can benefit from. Right? So anybody else want to talk? Anybody else in the public would like to say something? So of affordability. I mean, what you're saying, at the complex will have a bird trail, to have a spa, swimming pool, all those amenities, right? And let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. We have seen where the houses that are building now are so expensive without all of these amenities. So can you imagine the prices of those houses? But you know, I don't really want to dwell much on the houses because we don't want the houses. Whether they are affordable or not, the fact that it will impact us in many ways, that's why we are here. Our oxygen will be cut, right? Climate change. We are talking about climate change now, right? Steertown won't feel the same if those houses are not, if those houses are there, right? So, people, there's a lot of impact. As I said, I'm not a specialist, but I read a lot, and then I do believe what I read. The EIA states a lot of things in it. As I said, I spoke to the manager, and she said to me that their job is just to assess and give the information, not to agree or to disagree. So there's a lot is in that need questioning. All right? So anybody have anything to say? Devon? Devon?
Yes, Jones, I think we are, right up on time to wrap the meeting up. I think that's been a spirited discussion, and I think, there's lots of, points made here in the interest of protecting the environment and protecting the watershed. I think we have, heard other voices, other ideas. One of the things that I think is coming very clearly here is that there should be a reconsideration by NEPA and the government of Jamaica. Most of the experts, all of the experts.
Devon.
Yeah, yes.
So tell me the action that we can take. What can the people do? They want to know what can we do to prevent this from happening. What are the steps in doing that?
All right. So first, you have to let your voice know, be heard by sending an email to NEPA. And
no, Devon, sorry. I want everybody to hear this. This is very important. He's talking about what we can do as a people to prevent this from happening. So I want everybody to listen. Go ahead, Devon.
Yes, so I'm saying that NEPA needs to get an email from the citizens of Steertown, all communities around, and Jamaicans. And that in that email, the community need to reject the building of these houses on the watershed. And the community rejection of this and laying it out that this watershed, is the lifeblood of the community. The forest is the lifeblood of our community, and we have significant heritage there. So the community can list 3 things in terms of the so watershed should not be built on. It is a pristine forest, it should not be built on. and it has significant heritage, and it should not be built on. So an email saying all of that, you know, would really put into spotlight where the community stand, and they would have to consider that in their decision making. So there, I mean, Rich, have some individuals there who are actually signing petition letters. So if there anyone there who wants to do that right now, then there's someone on the common who can help them, you know, get that done. So that's one of the things that we can do. Now, there are other actions that we need to consider. And of course, the deadline is February the 1st, so we only have a few days to get this done. All right. But, you know, I mean, the other thing is that there's a legal challenge that can be mounted, and this is very, you know, expensive and requires a bit more organization. But since river, streams, and this land for many, many years, and there's laws in Jamaica that protect us to continue to use it, and these laws are prescriptive right laws. We've been using these waters. And so we need to consider whether or not we as a community want to express our prescriptive rights to continue to access the rivers, the streams, in we can launch a legal action. I mean, the constitutional right that is listed in the Charter is one that we have the right to a healthy environment that is free from harm and danger. And that's a court case that would have to go get an attorney, file a stop order in the court because they are violating our constitutional right as it relates to a healthy environment, because damages will be done here and the damages will be irreparable. So the most important action right now is to email rejecting this project is for us to have another meeting, you know, to determine if what legal action we need to take. And that's I think what are the next steps. Emailing NEPA and for us to consider if we need to take a legal action towards this.
I just want to repeat what you said in a nutshell. What is basically saying that what we need to do to prevent this from happening is send an email to NEPA. Now, we can facilitate all of that, right? We can facilitate getting the emails and get it to NEPA. So you don't have to worry about you not knowing what to do to get it to NEPA. I mean, I have a book going around now, collecting all the emails and names of everyone who don't support the project, and we will send those to NEPA. Remember, we said we have until February 1st, right, to do that. So we basically have no time. So please sign the book, put in the email address so we can get it to NEPA. Let your voices be heard. We have a young man who wanted to say something. Oh, it's Tuesday. We have until Tuesday to get those out. So please, the book is going around. Please sign the book. Please sign it. Put your name or your email. Yeah, we will do the beach at another time. Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm a citizen here.
Yes.
I went to that school, Mr. Beryl. You know Beryl School?
Yes.
Yes, to State Town School. Tell the Prime Minister and the opposition, say we want beach.
Well, the beach is in the court. So for those of you who don't know, Jabem and State Town Community Organization, we have taken people who are responsible for taking the beach to the court. So that is in the courts. We can furnish more information. Something with. All right, so we have some refreshments, we have some juices right here, and we have some more water. So we want to refresh themselves if they can. Devon,
Yes.
Closing remarks.
Tell Mark Wallen that. Tell Andrew Wallen that we are not for sale.
So Jones, we are concluding the official meeting right now, and give thanks to the community members for showing up and voicing their concerns, and just hoping that they will follow through on the actions, you know what I mean, in terms of getting the response to them, and that we can meet again week to discuss or not. We need to also look at actions, or also look at whether or not we need to do a peaceful protest. So I think we need to just stay tuned as to those other actions, but that's the first order. All right.
Yes. All right, people, we are here for one reason. We are here, so we come together. We are trying to stop what is going on, what is going to affect us. So all who agree, please put down your names on the sheet and your telephone number along with your email address, so you can send out message to NEPA. That's how we can become powerful. As much as what email you can send out, that NEPA go use. And remember, take this out of your mind. Say it can't happen. Anything you don't agree upon, it can disagree upon. And anything right on paper, it can rub out. We can't tap them. We can't tap them. So we make we stop them. Make we turn up and tap them. All right.
That is it. And we're just going to wrap up now. So let me say, I want to say thanks to each and everyone who turned up to this meeting. I mean, yes, you were expecting a bigger crowd, but nevertheless, you can bring back the messages to your friends and your family. Tell people what is happening, because it is very important. We can stop this. We just need enough email address so that we can send it to NEPA. Let them know what Steertown and surrounding area is thinking. So please spread the word. Tell everybody, play your part. That's all we ask for you to do. Play your part in telling people what is happening. You can reach me. You can reach me if you don't know where to send that email to NEPA. You just touch base with me and we'll get that done. So once again, I want to say thanks to everybody for turning out. I mean, really appreciate this. And, you know, may God bless us and we will be victorious. So thanks again. Yeah, Devon.
Okay, great. So that concludes that. I'll just leave the Zoom up for a few more minutes, but we
will do it.
We'll officially finish. I give thanks for all of the speakers and for all of the ones who joined online, and give thanks to Steertown community, Old Fort Bay, Mommy Bay, all Chalky Hill, Davistown Airport, all the ones all around the space. Let's continue this push.
Yeah, man. 360 37. Before we go, I just want to ask everybody to just take up their garbage and let's show that we are decent people. Want to keep the place clean.
No problem, man. My spot, I have to be like.
Yeah, so I'm asking everyone to pick up the garbage and throw it in the garbage bin. Thanks again. Yeah, Devon, thanks to your panel. and everybody that was on Zoom.
What we're going, we're going to get some data to go to everybody and have the email, send it to them, then take their phone and
Right now, we Let's go. Play two little song. We know you want to play little song.